Yeah,
Can you hear me or not?
clear my throat.
Yeah.
FP, just in case you didn't already know, I came back to spit crack, breaking a couple backs in the way a nigga raps. Where they got us a gift, but excuse me while I light this spliff. Getting toasted at Coachella with the hippies and shit. Not a mason, but I'm giving you these lyrical bricks, illuminating instrumentals like I flipped the switch. Goddamn, the kid ain't playing. Ball so hard and you niggas, you want a man. Leaning Mac, about to win a cool grand. I'm the man with the plan, got the world in my hands. So I'm steady switching lanes, me and Peso G, leaving stains in the streets with a few young freaks. Fuck a minute, I've been killing this shit for weeks. Geek with Jessica Rabbit, trying to give it a D. I ain't never been afraid to speak my mind. Wore my heart on my sleeve, spit some deep ass rhymes. But today I'm just smiling, styling, profiling. Eyes same color as Verizon. Fresh to death, a new idea from the casket. Dogging these niggas who acting hard, but they flaccid. Arrogant bastard. Nah, baby, that's the damn Leonardo to these niggas. Come and catch me if you can. See, I'm riding through the city, rolling a couple Phillies of that sticky icky with Icky Vicky, having a quickie, but really nobody feel me. Rappers running like Ricky, I'm so fresh and so clean. So with the bull, you can miss me, crispy. Kid shining the booth.
Welcome everybody to the sit down. We are live this Tuesday evening. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I didn't catch you guys last week. Thanks. Special shout out, obviously, to our great sponsor, Cousins Brand. Link will be in the description of the video. They've been great to us all years. The checkout code to sit down will get you a discount at the end. So thanks again to Cousins. They supported us all year. I've been looking forward to sitting down one-on-one and interviewing Mayor tonight, and he joins us live. So we got a lot to talk about. Mayor, welcome to the show.
What's good, sir? What's good, everybody?
So let's start with the first thing I want to say is, I watched all the Sneaker Watch videos. I wrote top 15 YouTube list for Complex, and Sneaker Watch TV was on the list, and I watched all those videos. And this interview is not going to be like that. The one thing that disappointed me with that is I didn't feel like there was a whole lot of substance there. I thought it was like a little bit of the Mayor show, just, kind of that kind of thing. And you're an interesting guy, and I want to get into that tonight.
I get it. I mean, you got to understand, Vlad has a nice platform. Sneaker Watch is a good platform. He does what he has. But, Vlad isn't the go-to sneaker guy for the interviews. So sometimes they just give me the floor. When they give me the floor, I'm going to go. You know what I mean? So.
Well, you're going to have it a lot tonight. You're going to have it a lot tonight.
Oh, let's have some fun. That's what we're here for. Let's have some fun.
So I guess where I want to start is you just did this spread with Forbes.
Yes.
Right? You did a little video with Forbes. And that was, I thought it was real dope, and real dope for you to be in Forbes magazine with, 3,000 pairs of shoes, $750,000 collection, your words.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Right. So I guess what I got to ask is do you feel like you have the most valuable sneaker collection out there?
Well, not after I saw what Croatian Styles put up the other day, Project Blitz. But what I can say is, and this is no shot, because Croatian Styles is my man. He sells shoes. All of that stuff is not his size. So if you want to go my size, your size, half size different, don't tell me you wear from a size 12 to a 14. You put extra shoe soles. I don't want to hear all that. Or you wear from a 7 to a 9. Like, hey, I wear from 7 to size 9. My collection is between a 9 and a 9.5 because some shoes run tighter than other. I've been around the mill where they cut shoes different now. So as far as my size, yeah, I pretty much got it when it comes to what's my size. There's resellers out there that probably have more, you know what I mean? Or better because of what they do.
What about a guy like Shoeseum?
Jordy's a reseller. Everything wasn't Jordy's size. Everything wasn't Jordy's size, especially when he bought AM's collection or whatever the stuff he bought from AM, you know what I mean? But Jordy's he's a great guy. He's a nice guy in general. I don't know his story. I don't know if he's been in sneakers, for all the amount of years. I don't know if it was new to him. I don't know how long he's been doing it. I never read his whole story, but he invited me out there at the time. And the fact that he has this collection that he did, and, he was selling it on eBay or doing whatever it was with it. If everything was his size, then, salute to him. But he didn't wear stuff. He museumed it and sold it. I try to wear a brand new pair of sneakers every day if I can.
I guess that brings me into a kind of an interesting debate we've had here on the show. I know we talked about it a little bit when I had Corgi on.
Shout out to Corgi.
Earlier in the year. So what are your thoughts on the the guys that accumulated versus the guys that bought into the game?
It's hard to say, because if you bought into the game because you have it and your passion is there, then I get it. But if your claim to fame, started October 6, 2010, 2011, when Instagram started, and you just wanted to have this collection, I mean, I don't know what, it's hard to answer that, because some people could jump into something late, like, hey, I really like sneakers, so I'm going to get all of this.
Of course, because nobody was first.
Right. No, right. There's no such thing as first, and there's no such thing as having the best collection in the world, because, I admire the Clark Kents of the world who's been doing this for 30 years. The Fat Joes of the world who've been doing this. We were in high school together. I went to high school with Joe. So I know what Joe had in high school. Did Joe make money and probably go to Flight Club and buy more shoes later on down the line because he could afford it? Yeah, but Joe had an awesome collection back then. And we called them cheaters because of the relationship they had with Nike and Jordan Brand. Like, some people call me a cheater, but I don't have the relationship they have. You know what I mean? I have somewhat of a relationship, but not as great as theirs. So it's hard to answer that question, but if you love it and you really doing it because of the love, then I'm cool with it. But if you running around spending hundreds of thousands of dollars just to try to be the man, you're a cornball, as far as I'm concerned.
There's a lot of that out there.
And that's to whoever. Whoever wants to own it, take it. I don't care. It don't make me no never mind.
Anybody in particular you think that comes to mind when you say that?
You're not going to get me to call people out, because I'm a different person. If somebody says something back to me, I'm going to slap the shit out of them. I don't go back and forth with Twitter conversations, and I don't do that. I'm Mayor from the Bronx for real. That's the part of the game that I separate. I don't do the Twitter, internet, back and forth beef. That doesn't work for me.
Well, I'm not talking about beef, though. We're talking about just the perception, the internet perception.
Because if somebody says something out of order, see, I'm going to say something that somebody don't like, and if they don't like it, I don't give a shit what they say. If they say something I don't like, I'm going to respond different. So I leave that part of the game alone. But they know who they are. They know who they are.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? They know who they are.
Like Khaled?
I'm a lot more accessible than everybody else is. I'm in the streets every day. Motherfucker, they got a problem, say something. I'm there.
Like your man Khaled?
Khaled is my man. I love Khaled.
But Khaled's the guy who bought into the game.
But look at Khaled's stuff. Khaled has a lot of old shoes. Khaled, so you got to understand something. There's the Jada Kisses of the world, the Khaled of the world, the Jim Joneses of the world, who love shoes in general, and they have a passion. You can't knock Khaled's passion. Khaled likes shoes. He wants to be shoes. He aligned himself with a dude who's an awesome collector, and Chris Smokes. You know what I'm saying? So Khaled gets shoes. You can't get mad at that. He loves shoes. We love music. We can't do what Khaled does in the booth. I've spoke with you about that before.
I'm not. Listen, we've talked about Khaled. Khaled's one of my favorite topics on here because, he's the poster boy in my eyes for corny.
No, the thing about Khaled is he's the same person on camera that he is off the camera. And I know because I'm around him. So what I'm saying is you got to respect his passion. Because Jim Jones got caught with a pair of fake Jordans doesn't mean Jim Jones is whack. The legendary Greg Street.
Anybody could get caught. Anybody could get caught.
The legendary Greg Street got caught with a pair of fake sneakers. And he laughed about it. You know what I'm saying? So it happens. Whose collection out here is better than Greg's? Not a person in this chat room could talk or hold any kind of water with Greg, except for me. Nah, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, so you got to understand that part of the game. So they love shoes. They love being fresh. It doesn't mean that they're in the game like we are. They don't remember release dates, and they don't remember back when Jordans were sold on Wednesdays instead of Saturdays before Wednesdays, and then they moved them to Saturdays because kids was cutting school. You can't knock them for that. But they want to be fresh, and they love it, and they love the history. They love the passion.
But do you think it's a little disingenuous if you act? Look, first of all, I love all the new guys in the game. I think. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about is kind of the young versus the old, because it is a young man's game. Yeah. I think too much the old heads in the sneaker thing kind of put themselves on a pedestal that I don't know that they deserve. And I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm just saying in general, just because somebody came into the game 3, 4, 5 years ago, I don't have a problem with that. I think what bothers me, and I don't know if you feel the same way, is when you front like you've been here.
Like you've been doing it forever.
Right. And I feel like, and that's kind of where I get that with Khaled. Like, I feel like Khaled hasn't been doing it forever, but those kind of front like he's been. And
see, that's the difference, Drew. Khaled does have shoes from back in the days. He didn't buy them shoes now from back in the days. You could see them if you go into the other room. That's not the We the Best room that Joe LaPuma was in. You could see the archives in the other room. He didn't buy them old shoes. Just like I can give you instances like I tell you Jim Jones. If I show you and this is stuff that I know because I've been around them. If I show you Camron storage units, I'm talking full-fledged storage units. Cam don't brag about shoes. Cam don't talk about shoes. So Jim Jones was around Cam, and they all had shoes. Yo, they have storage units worth of sneakers. Whether it's white on whites or a bunch of Ewins from back in the days, I'm talking about Adidas Forums and all that. Like, they had stuff. Even if it was Reeboks from above the rim and black tops, they have and it's all inline stuff because back in the days it was all inline.
Well, I remember Jim Jones coming in and buying a size 10 white on white Air Force One for me every single week in Paramus.
Right. So
I remember that in 05, 06.
Yeah, you've seen it. I mean, just because,
But I'm not talking about Jim Jones. I was talking about Khaled.
No, but I'm just throwing all of them in general because Jim falls into that circle. You see Jim all the time, from GBNY talking about I got my feet pieces and then he got caught with the fake shoe. So Khaled falls into that same bubble. But Khaled been doing it. See, you guys don't remember Khaled from back in the days like that. Khaled had shoes. But again, it was all inline stuff because that's all everybody had. I had inline stuff back then. Everybody had inline. I'm getting tired of everybody talking about they got the hottest shoe game in the world because they got exclusives. You didn't fall in love with shoes because they're exclusive. I don't give a fuck about exclusives. I love my GRs more than I love my PEs.
I think the GRs are the best releases all the time. I always do.
All the time. If you want to get technical, I mean, we can embarrass some people every now and then if we have to. But I mean, I understand where you're coming from and I understand where everybody else is coming from. But see, the difference between me and everybody else is, so if you thought that I fall in that bubble with the older guys, that's okay. And I can explain myself if you thought that I did or you thought that I don't. I want a 17-year-old kid to have his first Jordan 4 like I did. I want a 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid coming out of high school to enjoy his retro just like I enjoyed mine back in the days. I want that, so I welcome it. I've always welcomed it. And I never put myself on a pedestal because I used to get seeded shoes all the time. And it was fun being first. I couldn't give a rat's ass if everybody on Instagram has their maroon 6s before I do. As long as I get my pay on Saturday, I'm happy.
But don't you think you do in a way put yourself on a pedestal? I mean, the Instagram posts speak for themselves. I mean, and even you said it right here when you were talking about Greg Street. You were like, well, he's got a better collection than anybody in the chat except me. What did I do?
What did I do after that? I gave you a big, friendly, joking around smile.
No, I get that. But the joking around, it's like half kidding.
No. See, that's to the younger crowd. No, I think Greg Street's collection is better than mine. I'll say it with a straight face. I think it's more diverse than mine. Greg is pulling out Pro Keds from the 70s. He's pulling out Soulbox, toothpaste, New Balance, and all that stuff. Greg is more diverse than anything I've ever seen. And I'm being as real as you can be. I'm no smiling, no nothing. Greg Street's collection is better than mine. Not even a question. I have more pairs. His collection is better than mine. My room is cleaner. I got the cleanest sneaker room in the world. That's my title.
So you said a while back, you said it on our show last year. I've seen you say it a couple of times. You said it even today. I don't sell shoes.
Right.
But a couple months ago, you started selling some doubles and some triples, and
I did it for one day.
One day.
Mm-hmm.
How'd it go?
I made $15,000.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And the reason I did it is because I was trying to put a down payment on the house and I didn't have enough money.
Well, and you and I talked about this, and we're gonna put this up on the screen, I think. So this was something that
you're hilarious. I love you,
Mayor man.
No, listen, I'm here.
You posted a mortgage calculator.
Yeah.
On the gram,
mm-hmm.
And the caption on it, and it was one of those things where, I like to consider myself a little bit of a student of the social experiment with sneakers,
Okay.
Like I think the sneaker game, having been in it as long as I have, has evolved. So to me, I actually enjoy like the bullshit and the social chasm that it's become,
Mm-hmm.
So I saw this and I started laughing because you post this on Instagram, and I cracked a joke about it and you called me.
Yeah, but
I was like,
I don't know, man. It's all fun for me. But go ahead, finish.
Right, I know that. I'm not saying you do. So you post a mortgage calculator on the screen, and you called me because I threw a crack about it. But don't you think that that's like
you gotta let the listeners know when I called you, it wasn't calling you to be mad because all these people.
No. I wasn't. It wasn't about that.
We were laughing when I picked up the phone.
And we're laughing now.
Because no, these kids think that I'm just the worst person in the world, but that's a whole nother story.
But I think maybe because that's the guy you portray.
No, I'm just being me. There's no portrayal here. That's the part that people don't realize. There's no portrayal. But get to your point. I don't want to keep cutting you off.
So, but what message is it sending when you're posting something like that on Instagram? Like, what do you, like if that's you?
What is it posting?
And this is where I disagree a little bit. I don't think that that's you because, and I don't know you that well. We've interacted a couple of times. We've talked on the phone a little bit and face to face this and another time. But in person, you're a kind of humble, low-key guy. Like, yeah, you throw jokes and you talk a little shit, but you're not the type of guy who says, I'm making this much money and I'm doing this much and here's my mortgage calculator. This is my third home.
Right.
But on Instagram, that's how you are.
No, but I'll explain. I'm proud of my accomplishments. It's not my third home that I live in. I'm from Patterson Projects in the Bronx. I'm from 328 East 145th Street, apartment 3A. I came from pissy elevators and shit staircases. And guess what? I live in a $600,000 modest home. I have $1 million in sneakers. I had $750,000 to $1 million in sneakers, and I invested in some property. And I tried to buy $1 million home that I couldn't. That wound up not working because I couldn't get the finances that I wanted.
Well, what do you do?
What do I do? That's the $64,000 question. Now, see,
the people want to know.
Right. Well. And I'll answer that the way I answer everybody else. I'm Eminem's ghostwriter. Now I'm only kidding. There's two sides. There's Mark Farisi, which is me. I have a 9-to-5 job. I've had it for 20 years. That part of my life I keep separate. In the interim, I've owned nightclubs, Club Essos. I bought Stay Tuned from Mike Tyson, which was a car stereo shop that I had for years. I have Mayor Consultant. I don't have those businesses anymore. I have Mayor Consultants now. I'm a third owner of Stadium Status Group, which is a marketing agency. We just did a bunch of projects. We just did a Jeremy Scott Moschino collaboration that launched in Milan, at the runway, the fashion show in Milan. Mm-hmm. I own that business right there. And now I'm dabbling in real estate, which is how I bought 2 income properties that I rent out right now. So basically I have Mayor Realty and Stadium Status right now. Mayor Consultants is just something that I do for fun. And I have a regular 9-to-5. September 9th made 20 years at my job. And that part of my life I keep personal.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Hey man, listen. I'm just asking the question.
I'm answering to the best of my capabilities.
So, I guess where I kind of lose a little bit.
Making you nervous, please don't have
No. I'm just trying to make sure I ask the right questions. Because I have some thoughts here.
Ask them all, baby. Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna. So, like, why? You're not a young guy.
No, I'm 43 years old.
So why, at your age, do you make such an effort to be a sneaker celebrity? Like, at what point does it become a young man's game, and do you pass the torch?
The torch is already passed. There's kids out there doing a million things right now. Why do I choose to be a superstar or super celebrity, whatever you call it? I make a living off sneakers. What I make off Instagram alone, being a brand ambassador for brands, nobody in this chat right now makes a year. And that's just off of that. That's not bragging, that's being honest. I catch myself $75,000 to $80,000 a year off being a brand ambassador. Why wouldn't I still have a shoe collection? Why wouldn't I let this amazing collection work for me? Nike borrows shoes from me instead of going to archives. They'd rather pay me to ship them shoes that I have in this room so they don't have to go dig into their big farm warehouse, which is 10 blocks long, with a million shoes in it, categorized. They'd rather pay me to do it. So why wouldn't I take this amazing collection and make money with it without selling shoes? I make an amazing living. I give Uncle Sam a nice chunk of change off this room right here alone every year. And that's a fact.
Do you think it's weird to have the same likes and style as 12 to 16-year-old kids?
I don't have the same likes as 12 to 16-year-old kids. 12 to 16-year-old kids don't walk around with Rolexes on their wrist or chains on their necks or Balmain or Valentino or vice versa. Only thing we like together is Nike, Jordans, and Tech Fleece sweatsuits. And that's because their mommy buys it for them.
But do you think like?
Now, if you tell me 25-year-olds, I can say yeah. Not 12 to 16-year-olds.
I guess maybe what I'm trying to get at is the flex, like the flex or the front, like.
But there's no flex. If you, Don, you know me. There's no flex.
In person,
let's be real. Let's be real, Don. As humble as you told me as I was when I went
in real life,
to show with you, right? In real life,
yeah.
I had on a ton of jewelry. I had on an amazing watch.
Right, but on Instagram, you're like, look at this and look at this, and I mean, we could put up.
Where do I say, look at this? You want to pull up the picture that I pulled on the other day with all my jewelry on? That was for a Puma photo shoot. They told
no, I got another one. We can put up this one where you put the diamond bezel Rolex with the embossed with the ever so casually making sure the Cadillac logo is in there.
Yeah.
How is that not a flex though?
It's not a flex. So it's okay for a kid to post a sneaker of the day. I can't post the watch that I wore that day.
I'm not saying that.
But it helps my brand. It helps my brand.
That's a fair answer. If that's what it is, that's what it is. I'm just asking a question.
But that all helps my brand. Yo, dude, I came from pissy elevators, man. I had mayonnaise sandwiches. I'm happy I'm happy that I made it. I don't know about everybody else. I'm happy that I made it. And yeah, I did some wrong in my life. And yeah, I went to jail. So what? I made it. I make a legit living.
That's dope.
I've never done a drug in my life. You've never seen me drunk. You've never seen me high. I've never done a drug in my life. I never smoked a cigarette in my life. I've never done none of that. All I do is take care of my family and have fun enjoying life and make some bread with it. What's wrong with that? If I want to watch, I post. I'm a regular dude. If I turn my camera around, there's watches laying on top of my desk right now. That's not flexing. They're there. I didn't put them there. They're there. My sunglasses to the left. They're there. My chains are to the right. That's there. This is here. This is my life. I almost sounded like college just now.
What do you think? What do you think of the guys running around with a personal sneaker photographer, taking all kinds of glamour shots?
People do that.
Oh yeah.
Now see, I'm in a bubble. I'm lost. Only time I walk around surprised is if I got a photo shoot. I take my own picture. I sit there. Look, I got on my Uggs right now in my house. I take my shoes and I put my finger. I take my picture. I can't walk around with a photographer. Shit, I want his job. Because if he could afford a photographer, he's doing better than me. I can't afford
There are guys walking around with a personal photographer taking pictures.
Who? Since you like it, who?
Lots of guys. Now you want me to call names out?
Name one.
I mean, there's a lot of them. Soligo said it on Sneaker Watch. He goes, you know, when I'm out in the streets with my photographer. And I'm cool with Ghost.
Now, Ghost is my man. I just did a show with him the other day. I had a sneaker panel with him the other day. I invited him out I had an event and I needed a talent. I hired him.
But he said it on Sneaker Watch.
That's crazy. I never seen that. That's hilarious. I'm gonna call him and roast him in a few minutes. Like I've never seen him with a photographer, so I can't. That's crazy.
What
Can
do you
find
think?
a photographer? Hey, anybody here want to intern and be my photographer?
I'm not doing it.
Please, I need an intern.
What do you think?
At stadiumstatusgroup.com. Mayor at stadiumstatusgroup.com. I need a photographer to walk around with me all day.
Mayor, what do you think of the evolution of the game, the way it's going now? Like,
it's so many ways it's going. You got to pick a specific topic for me.
No, I mean, like, do you think it's drying up?
I don't think it's drying up because every other day somebody becomes a little more financially stable to afford something. So I don't feel it's going to dry up. I always feel that somebody like that kid that had mommy was buying his shoes. Now he can buy his own shoes. He's going to have that moment where he's going to flex for a while. So I don't think it's ever going to die down in that aspect. What I do hate robots. I hate all that stupid stuff. I get very angry when a kid has a good report card and mommy can't buy him a pair of shoes because going to a store on a Saturday to buy a pair of Jordans doesn't exist anymore.
It does, though.
Well, now it does because
it does.
It does. Yeah. Some of the bullshit they put down there and the price point of these Jordans, you guys, and that's your fault. You guys asked for premium materials. You got them. Now you can't afford them. Now you don't want to buy them.
But they're not premium materials.
Well, that's again to each his own. You're not going to catch what you caught back then.
So I guess the pricing, that's a good way to go. Do you think Nike and Jordan, do you think they pushed it too far?
From a business aspect and being a stockholder, no, because they're about to split any day now. Nike's about to take that 130 stock and split it 2-for-1. And I own Nike, so I'm happy. So from that aspect, no. But from the connoisseur aspect, sneakers are expensive. Sneakers are very fucking expensive.
Do you think, though, that the oversaturation of the market and the inflation of the price is, as a shareholder, is going to drive down the top line?
No, I don't think so at all. I think totally opposite. Because when you used to put out when they put out a Concord and it was 185,000 pair made and they were $200 or $220, whatever they are now, and then they put out the next year for Christmas they're going to put out a Space Jam. Now they're going to make 215,000 because they're always going to top the number. As long as the number is always being topped from the year before, the price is always going to be fine. So even if some sit on the shelves, they're still going to cap off higher than others. That's from a market standpoint.
Right.
From a connoisseur standpoint, like I said, if oversaturation, everybody fought for shoes, everybody wanted shoes, everybody paid these crazy prices on eBay. Now they're available and you don't want them. I don't understand. Now, again, that's the reseller's fault because the reseller can't sell them. And once they can't sell them for the quick flip to buy the next shoe, because they want to take the sneaker, sell the shoe, and then go buy some Balmain jeans and give somebody else their money and do the same thing they're doing with sneakers, do it with clothing. So they're going to sell a shoe and go to H&M and buy every fucking Versace, Alexander Wang, Balmain collaboration that comes out and try to flip that too. So there's never enough money to do what they want to do. So when they can't sell the shoe in 2 days, they return it back to the store. And then there's stuff sitting on the shelves right now. Like, Oreo sat on the shelves and stuff sits on the shelf.
Aqua 8 sat. Still sitting.
Well, this Aqua 8 is terrible. How the hell you make that stupid circle orange instead of yellow? And how you got spackle on the bottom, that stupid metallic shit on the bottom. This shit is terrible. That's whoever did it's fault. If you're not gonna make it look, don't call it a record. You're not gonna make it look what it look like. I mean, the material doesn't have to be the same, but Jesus Christ, make it look as close as you can as possible.
You're a big Yankee fan. The comparison I made with Jordan is what the Yankees did. When the Yankees moved out of the old stadium and into the new stadium, they jacked up the ticket prices. They added seats to the building. They jacked up the ticket prices, made the premium seats way more expensive so regular folks couldn't afford them. And now when you watch the game, you see all the empty seats behind home plate and right near first and third base, and you see so many empty seats even against the Red Sox, even in the playoffs. And that never used to be the case. You know that. Right. At the old building.
Right.
And to me, I think that's the same comparison as when you see an Aqua 8 sitting on a shelf.
But again, it's both sides of the thing. Those tickets are sold.
They're not all sold. No, you can buy them day of the game. They're not all sold.
You can buy some day of the game. You can't buy all because IBM has seats and this person has seats and Nike has seats and these people have seats. There's seats there. Can you buy a couple of seats to home plate? Yeah. But you can't buy a lot of them. But I get what you're saying, and I mean, I don't know whether you call it saturation.
I mean, listen, Nike's always going to win. Nike's always going to win because they're going to increase production. So even if there's 500,000 pairs last year at 170 and 750,000 pairs at 190 this year, are they going to like they're going to offset even if they don't sell out just based on the percentages?
I get it.
So what do you think, Mayor? What do you think about how the social platforms, the Instagrams, the Snapchats, the Twitters, the YouTubes? What do you think about how that's affected the sneaker industry?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
What do you think about how the social platforms have impacted the sneaker industry?
It makes it easier to get direct to consumer now. It might be killing the blogs. That's why the sneaker worlds and the nice kicks of the world, they use these platforms now. They got 4 or 5 million followers, respectively, 3 or 4 million followers, respectively. They use it to that aspect. I mean, it's put some money in my pocket. You know what I mean? But it's also made people Insta famous, and it's also made people. I'm okay with it. Like, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with sharing stuff. Like, we used to go back to Sneaker Play back in the days and share our sneakers on there and do little sneaker battles and stuff like that on Sneaker Play. And I don't know if you guys remember that, but it's fun. I like looking at people's stuff. I follow certain people and I like looking at what they post. It's like daily activity. It does suck. What does suck is when I'm sitting at a business dinner and everybody got their phones in their hand or I go to an event where, you know, it's an influencer event and nobody's talking. Everybody has their phone in their hand and everybody's Snapchatting and taking a picture of this, which I'm a victim to as well, but it bothers me. It bothers me. But it's all about capturing the moment. I mean, I'm starting to enjoy Periscope right now. I'm on Periscope every day because it reminds me of when I used to do Ustream 10 years ago. I used to be on my Ustream with 25 people on there and have fun. Now I go on Periscope and I got, 700 kids on there having fun with me. I still enjoy it. So I like it.
So you switched to the drop front boxes.
Yes.
So what'd that run you, man?
A whole lot of money.
Not cheap.
It's $10 a box. You guys know how many pair of shoes I have.
So what was the advantage? What was the purpose of that? Like,
the purpose is, do you mind if I show you real quick?
No, go ahead. Sure.
The purpose is when I had to grab a shoe from all the way down there,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to lift everything up and move it to get to that shoe. Now all I have to do is go like this. Yeah, it's not me. Everything is off on my side.
So what shoe did you pay the most for?
There's two answers to that. Probably my undefeated. I paid $2,500 for, and it's worth $25,000 now, so they say, right? So I like comparing things to the market. So I guess that's a great investment. And
what was going through your mind, Mayor, when you went on and you just folded the undefeated shoe?
We were having a conversation off air. How everybody's, this is a gray, this is a gray. I'm like, yo, it's a goddamn sneaker. Like, how could you wear that? It's a sneaker, and I just grabbed it.
So along those lines, if on one hand you're like it's just a sneaker, but in the Forbes video you were talking about, I gave away 9 pairs of Yeezys, $4,000 a pair. That's $36,000. So on one hand you're saying it's just a sneaker, but on the other hand, that calculator in your head from Mayor Consulting is going all the time.
No, it was weird.
It's a commodity, though. It's not just a sneaker, though.
No, I get it, but the value of the shoe doesn't mean nothing to me. I was explaining the point was like, wow, I'm treating this sneaker like it was regular, and it was a regular shoe to me because I didn't like it, and because I didn't like it, I gave it away. I'm saying is, in retrospect, I gave away $36,000 because I'm sure whoever I gave them to sold them. I gave away 36 grand. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't saying it to say that I lost out on the money. I'm saying it is that I didn't like the Yeezy. And I had that gray one and the net, the color, the tan one. I was giving them joints away. Because at that time, my relationship with Nike was amazing.
What happened to that relationship?
I still have a great relationship with Nike. The thing about Nike that people don't understand is you're only in a position for a certain amount of years. And then you move on. You get a promotion, you move on to another category. So if I'm an influencer for sports marketing, the sports marketing guy is going to take care of me. When he moves on to hockey or to soccer or something else or running, that's a bigger, if he's a brand director now or a category director, he's getting a big raise, he's leaving. Whoever comes into that position has their own influential people. Maybe I don't fall into that category. Maybe my pants ain't tight enough. Maybe my pants don't rate my ankles. Maybe I'm getting too old. So it's happened where I didn't get taken care of by the next dude in the position, but then somebody else will come in later on and be like, oh, May, I got you. And then they'll leave 2 years later. And then somebody else will come in. So it's never the brand, it's the people that are in the position. So the relationship with the brand has always been the same. It never changes. If I see Mark Parker, he says hello, I say hello. I'm not going to call Mark Parker and ask him for a pair of sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not what it is. But I'm going to ask the category director, if he tells me, yo, whatever you need, call me. If you tell me that, I'm going to use that. You can't tell me, hey, if you need something, holler at me. Because you're opening an invitation for me to call you and ask you for something. And I'm not shy, I ask. And if you say no, wait for it to come out and I buy it. Or if you say, yeah, I got you. I've had people in that category say, Mayor, listen, I'm not seeding you everything because you're not in my demographic. But if there's something you want, call me and I got you. I've had that too. Actually, the last person that was there, that was the relationship we had. If you see something you want, holler at me. I promise I got you. I'm just not sending you everything like I send everybody else. But if you call me every release and ask for something, I got you. And I didn't. I only called when I wanted something.
We get a couple questions from the audience.
Sure.
Just for Kick says, who have you smacked over sneakers?
Have I ever smacked anybody over sneakers? I don't think I've ever smacked anybody over sneakers.
BT wants to know, what did you go to jail for?
Weapons possession.
How long did you go away?
I did a year.
Matt wants to know, will retro runners like Saucony or New Balance become the new Jordan retros because of the oversaturation of Jordans?
I don't think so, but these brands are doing great right now. I don't think so. I think Jordan will always win, but these brands are doing great. Like, I'm looking forward to what Asics has coming, what New Balance has coming. I look forward to stuff like that.
You made a Fila shoe.
Yes.
How'd it do?
It did well for when it came out. It came out against infrared black sixes, and I forgot what else. I think a Foam Posit came out around that time too, if I'm not mistaken. It did well. I probably had a 75% sell-through. I still have a few pair left that I'm going to put back online, but any day now probably.
And did you sell them personally, or did they go to boutiques? How did they release that?
What I did, I tried to do it different. What I did was I had Fila wholesale me the shoes, and then I took the shoes and put them in A-Life because A-Life is a friend of the family, so I just put them in there and sold them out of A-Life. So basically, I bought the shoes at wholesale price and sold it for retail. So there was no middleman, there's no store, there was no nothing. It was me direct to consumer.
Okay.
They've never done that before, so I tried that.
Why Fila?
They gave me the opportunity. They reached out to me.
So you would have done it with anybody?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I would have did it with Brooks. You know what I'm saying? But
right. Because why would Brooks? Why would a tech running company?
Exactly.
Right.
So but yeah, Fila gave me my opportunity, and I took it and ran with it, and I made the best that I can with it, and I think I made an awesome shoe.
So, what's your affinity for denim?
It's New York.
A shoe, because you're known for that.
Yeah, I love denim. Everything I want to do, everything I do is denim. I just love denim. I've always thought that the perfect complement to a sneaker was fresh denim. Whether you cuffed it, how you wore it over your sneaker. It's a New York thing. It's a Bronx thing, and that was basically what it was for me. So it's basically denim is the perfect. People always want to match a shirt to a pair of sneakers. I think the way denim looks on sneakers is what it is.
What do you think 2016 is going to look like for Mayor?
I got a few things in the works that I can't talk about. Something overseas. Something overseas is going to happen. Mayor Realty hopefully keeps going. Hopefully I can have another 2 properties in 2016 that I'm working on, hopefully, if the finances keep coming in. Knock on wood. More brand ambassadors. My marketing agency is going well. It's definitely a bright, it's a nice upside.
Premium Pete wants to know, after losing all that weight, have you considered getting into the porn industry?
No, but I'm a model now.
So you lost how much, Mayor?
Just over 100 pounds.
And what was it? Lap band surgery or what?
No, not at all. Not at all, baby. Personal trainer, nutritionist.
You changed everything?
I run almost 5 miles a day. I drink a lot of water. I eat what they call French meals. I eat 2 to 5 ounces of food every couple of hours. I eat 6 times a day.
What do you miss most from being a fat boy?
Ice cream.
I love it. Isn't it the best?
Ice cream.
I just light up, man. I just love ice cream. It's my weakness.
Yeah.
How did your relationship, Zach wants to know, how did your relationship with the brand start?
A guy that I call my brother. His name is Speedy, James Williams. You can Google him. He was a New York basketball star. He won the Rucker. He was actually in the movie Above the Rim. I used to play ball. So his father pretty much taught me everything I know. And he was in the Nike commercial with Rasheed Wallace when everybody was dribbling. Remember the dribble commercial with Rasheed Wallace and everybody? He was in that commercial. And he brought me to Nike. I just went up there with him one time just to hang out. And I met a guy named Jerry Erasmus, who's been with Nike almost 30 years now. And he asked me, I was already into sneakers, but I never had a relationship with the brand. And he was talking about a Bluetooth back in the days that he wanted for his ear. And I had a car stereo business, so Bluetooths were easy for me to get. So I got Bluetooth at wholesale. I sent him a few of them. He actually gave me a couple of pair of white on whites, and I was mad because he gave me white on whites. But after that, he introduced me to a few people. Clark introduced me to a few people. And it's funny because the people that Clark introduced me to, I wound up getting closer to than Clark was. And they were sending me shoes and wasn't sending Clark shoes. That was actually pretty funny. But yeah, that's pretty much how it started. And then, you know, I'm awesome at building relationships, so I kept it going. I know how to check in. I know how to say, hey, how you doing? Don't want nothing, just want to see how you're doing. And that goes a long way when you do want something.
What was the most like fruitful relationship for you building your collection? Was it a store relationship or was it a brand relationship? How did you what paid the most dividends?
A person. Hold on, boy. My mother's. Give me 1 second. My mother's not feeling well, and she's calling me. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Hey, ma.
So Mayor just stepped off to take a call real quick. We'll no, you're right, it ain't. I like steak too. I like eggplant parm.
Totally apologize. I'm back.
No, it's okay, Mayor.
We back?
How's your mom? What's up?
My mother just got diagnosed with vertigo today, so she's very dizzy and stuff like that. So I just wanted to she was calling me to let me know she was going to bed. I just wanted to make sure she was okay. So she basically got diagnosed a few hours ago. So.
Well, that's the disadvantage with live, man.
Yeah. Sorry.
So
sorry guys, but
no, we're good. We're good. Let me pull some questions. We got some good questions out here for some people.
Okay.
How often do you ID a pair of forces?
When my relationship was going Nike, I was doing them every day. Now probably once every 2 or 3 months, but I have over 150 pair IDs from back in the day. So there's really.
What do you think of what Geiger's been doing with IDs and with Nike with Air Forces?
Geiger's IDs were cool. They were cool. I like Geiger. Geiger's my friend. I like busting his chops. Not a fan of the misplaced checks. I'm not a fan of customs. So what they're doing is different, but I'm not a fan of it because I don't like customs. You know, one of my good friends is Mosh, and Mosh will tell you, like, when we talk, we don't even talk about shoes because I can't stand customs. But I'm not a customs guy. But I think his IDs were cool. He made some cool IDs.
Thoughts on running a store with accounts? How hard is it to get accounts nowadays since everything is so saturated? Have you ever thought about opening your own store?
Opening my own store, I was a little disenchanted on because I would have to, if Mayor's opening a store, it has to be in a prime location, right? And the rents are insane. You know what it is. You know what rents cost in these markets. But if, like, I use A-Life for instance, and I'm not using actual numbers, but if A-Life pays $12,000 a month in rent, being on 158 Remington Street, and their same markup is whatever it is with shoes, and my friend Matt from corporate in Cincinnati pays $2,000 a month rent and electricity together, I'd rather have a store in Cincinnati. You know what I mean? But a Mayor store doesn't work in Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? So it's always hard. Now, and just because I have a relationship with Nike doesn't mean they're coming in the door. You know what it is. You guys, it's very hard to have Nike walk in the door. You have to be set up already. You have to have other stuff in the stores. If they catch you backdooring Nike or buying backdoor Nikes, that means buying from other people and selling them in the store without an account, they won't even come in the store and look. So you have to take the chance of having a store, having 6 to 8 months worth of backup money just in case, having other brands in there, and then hoping Nike walks in the door unannounced and say, yeah, we like your store, we're going to give you an account. So it's not easy on the Nike side.
And you have to have the credit.
Huh? And
you have to have the credit to have essentially a $1 million credit line.
Right. I mean, they start people off with $80,000 in credit when you got a small mom and pop store, but it's all the way up to $1 million. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Habla wants to know, what is the meaning behind the ATF crew?
ATF was just addicted to fresh, and we all like to be fresh. And there was a bunch of guys that, you know, we all grew up together and love, you know, Shy McBride, DJ Clark Kent, Dave Jeff, Greg Street, myself, my man All Day, my man Safe from Miami. It was just a collective bunch of guys that like sneakers, and we just used to have fun together. You know, it wasn't no big powwow. We going shopping together. We compare and shoot. We actually, you know, we did a few shows together. Like I remember Nike brought out, we did a 5th floor at Nike Town one time where me, All Day, and Clark Kent brought out our collections. And that was one of the most awesome nights I've ever had. Just to put our shoes out there and just have people look at it and talk sneakers with people. That was probably the best event I've ever been to. And that was 10 years ago.
Will wants to know, he says, I heard Mayor ran up on Gary, the co-owner of Dunk Exchange, at a show because Gary owed him some money or something. He wants you to speak on that issue.
It's a false issue.
Never happened.
Me, Curtis, and Gary are very good friends. I never worked for Dunk Exchange. I've never done nothing with Dunk Exchange. Those are my friends. No.
Okay.
I actually consider them friends. That's a false statement. That's another person on the internet talking shit.
Hey, listen, that's what it's about, though. Is
No, it's cool. Listen. I've been accused of everything under the sun, and if something's real, I'll tell you it's real.
what do you think of? We talk about this a lot here. The culture. Is there a culture?
Yeah, that's an argument me and Clark have all the time. I think it's a culture, yeah.
And he says no.
He says no. He says it's not a culture. He goes, it's a way of life. I'm like, Clark, a way of life is a culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he goes, well, we didn't mean to, and I'm not saying start this culture like we started it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Bobito didn't know that this was going to be what it was going to be. Bobito didn't know in 1970 something that later on he was going to write, It's the Shoes or do the book. Where'd you get, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody knew that. It became a culture. Like, basketball became a way of life in China. The guy that I was talking about, Jerry Erasmus, that worked for Nike, he went to China and revolutionized basketball out there. You know what I mean? Like, it became a culture out there. It's not one of those things that we knew it was going to be, but it's definitely a culture. I think so.
Do you?
Yeah. Do you think
No, I think it's deteriorated to the point where it's a commodity trade, essentially. It's every man for himself. I don't think it's a culture. I think it used to be somewhat of that, but I think it's deteriorated to the point where I have trouble having someone who's grown up in it.
Yeah.
Since I'm a kid, this is really all I've known in my career. I mean, everything I have, I attribute to the sneaker industry.
I know how you feel.
And I don't. I think it used to be. I think it used to be that way, and I think it's changed and evolved over the years to the point where now it's a hustle, not a culture.
But it's not a hustle for everybody.
But if it's a hustle for the majority,
but it doesn't mean. But there's people. So you want to call it a cult? You want to call it a devised cult? The hustle cult? The people the wearer cult? I mean, you can't categorize it like that. I mean, I don't think you can categorize it like that. I mean, unless you've done massive amount of research. Just going by what you see or what you see on social media. Not everybody sells shoes. Not everybody. Some people sell because they have to. Some people sell for a living. Some people, I used to hate, look, bots and everything. Bots and connects have made it easy. What I used to talk about the sneaker game when I did my Village Voice interview, I used to talk about how a kid would stand online for 3 days, smell like shit, get a shoe for $150 and then go sell it for $300 in Flight Club. And then you're working for $3 an hour. Like, that's the stupidest thing ever. Isn't that dumb to go buy one pair of shoes? But now now they got smart. Yeah, I'm gonna put a dude online and give him $50. I'm gonna put a dude online and give him $25. I'm gonna put a dude online, hey, get this. I'm gonna get 10 robots and pay $140 and still make $90 a pair. Like that, I understand that part of the hustle. I understand it. It sucks, but I get it now. And I used to hate it. I still hate resellers, but I get it. We all shop at Flight Club. It's the gift and the curse.
What do you hate? What do you hate more, resellers or fakes?
Fake sneakers or resellers?
Resellers or the fake trade, people that push, sell, rock fakes.
Oh,
what's a greater evil to you?
The fakes. Because that's destroying that destroys the culture. Now you saying it's okay to buy bootleg shit or buy fake shit and still be a part of this game. That's not what we worked all our lives for, to amass these collections or have fun with a hobby. A hobby could, people's hobbies turn into cultures. Like there's a whole subculture of people that fly planes and build little planes and all. That's a culture. That's a world. It turned into a hobby. They have shows for this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they have SEMA shows and all this stuff. They have trade shows based on all this stuff. Those are hobbies that turn into businesses. It's a culture.
Couple more from the audience. These are some good questions.
Let's go. We're here.
Juice asks for you. He asked for both of us, really. What was the craziest shoe release you witnessed?
This is going to sound crazy, but I didn't witness it. I read about it in the newspaper and winded up getting the shoe anyway. It was the Staple Pigeon release. Remember that crazy ride at State for the Stable Pigeon release? I was in jail when that happened, but I wound up getting a pair. Everybody was going crazy outside. I know the person that started the whole goddamn thing, which sucks. And I'm to remain nameless, and I still wound up with a pair.
For me, I'm gonna say there are two that jump out at me. Three really. The Cool Gray 11, the original Cool Gray 11 release, was really, really crazy. The original first retro of the Grape 5, when it was an LE, that was very, very crazy one. And then just from an overall volume standpoint, the Flint 13, I think was one of the biggest volume. I don't know that I've ever sold more pairs of Jordans in one day than I did on those Flint 13s when they came out. And that was like 97 or 98, 97, I think.
I want you to refresh my memory because I'm old. When the first Grape was an LE, were Jordan still coming out on Wednesdays or Saturdays?
Wednesdays.
Okay. Just to remember,
Wednesdays.
I'm an old man, so I don't remember. But yeah.
Yeah. It switched to Saturdays in like the late 90s.
I remember
early 2000s.
The exact years. Kids were cutting school to buy Jordans. That's exactly why they moved.
Well, actually, not really. Well, that was the theory behind it, but the truth of the matter was
that's what I heard from corporate.
Well, that's what the corporate sold, but the truth of the matter was they weren't, because all the stores were selling this shit early. What we used to do was cut the barcode off of the box and keep the barcode and the money in the safe, and then give the kid the bag with the shoes. We never taxed them extra neither. If the shoe was 140, we would add 140. It would be 150, 118 with tax in Brooklyn. And they would pay us 150, 152, whatever it was. And that money would go in the safe. And then the morning of the release, we would come in at 5 o'clock in the morning and ring up all the shoes, and we would be done. So the Jordan brand or Nike said they did it to prevent kids from cutting school, but I think they did it to check the pre-selling.
Okay.
That's what I think personally, but I know that's what they said.
I've sat in on, I've had the privilege of go to campus a few times and sit with people, and that was one of my main questions. I sat down and was like, listen, you guys got to riddle me something. Why did they do that? And there was an older gentleman in the room. I think it was Gene Smith. They used to play for Georgetown. That was a Nike sales rep for a long time. He was the one that told me, and he was there for a long. He used to play against Jordan in college, and he wound up working for Jordan Brand for years. He was the one that told me that they did it because kids were cutting school. So.
That's definitely what they put out there.
Okay.
And again, I might be wrong. That's just my theory. Habla wants to know, why haven't you gotten a collab like Clark has, seeing as though they've always come to you for shoes and whatnot?
I'm not famous. Name me one famous person that doesn't have that has a collaboration. Just because I got an amazing collection doesn't deem me worthy of having a shoe with the biggest company in the world. It used to bother me when I was younger, but I totally get it. I understand. I'm just a guy who has an amazing shoe collection. I'm nothing else than that. I'm a pretty fun personality, but that's just me in general.
Do you watch, BT wants to know, do you watch YouTube videos like sneaker YouTube videos?
Not no more. Not no more. I used to watch my friends and make fun of them. Like I used to watch Fran and then call them and make fun of them. I used to watch other people and call them and make fun of them. And but not really. Not really. I had my moment when I was recording YouTube videos for a hot second where I would flash through, but no, for the most part, no.
Sean wants to know what you think Fila needs to do to gain more traction.
Brands like that just got to keep putting out hot retros because there's nothing forward for them as far as I'm concerned. So putting out hot retros. I mean, it doesn't have to be. I'm tired of everybody getting a collaboration. I mean, that's probably why I finally got a collaboration because the whole world started getting them. I mean, you just got to make the OGs as close to the OG as you can make it. Pretty much.
I was surprised that you didn't do the whole Fila lawsuit with the Mayor Fila shoe.
Dude, I tried.
Man, you know what? Let me tell you about your bag, man.
I tried to get a denim. I love my bag.
Listen, I love this bag, right? You gave me this bag. You gave me this Mayor bag, right?
This mean, nasty old man gave you a bag. I was a nice guy.
At first, I never said that.
I'm joking, Drew.
I know that, but you always say that. But anyways, you gave me the bag, and I love it. I use it every single day. When I travel, and I travel a lot. I'm in the airport twice a month, 3 times a month.
Yeah.
It's literally the only thing I bring. My laptop, my sneakers, pack clothes in there. Mayor, the shit is falling apart, B.
So ask for another one.
I'm just saying, but I haven't even had it that long. It shouldn't be falling apart. What's up with Flood, man?
Hey,
Where's the quality control, Mayor?
Maybe you caught a bad batch. You never seen a Nike. You never seen a Nike with a messed up Dubre or lace locks missing. The other day, Pusha T's shoe. A kid showed me a picture on Snapchat. You know, the Adidas EQT says King Push. Both of the lace locks said Push Push.
Oh my!
I mean, hey, it happens. Yeah, it happens. Now I got to send you a new bag. He just wanted a new bag, guys. That's the only reason.
No, it's funny because I literally use it every day.
Oh, shit, that's
and
you use them every day.
But in less than a year?
It's been a year.
Man, Flood needs to get up on their quality control with the Mayor bag. Man, your name's on that thing.
I'm telling you, I said I'm ruined. I'm finished. Go get a shrine rack. I'm done.
Mayor, what do you think? You know what? Let me turn it to you. I've asked you a ton of questions. The audience has come through with some great questions.
Keep it coming.
What do you think? You know, what do you think you want to say? I mean, is there anything that you want to put out there to the people? Is there any misconceptions that you feel about you?
I mean, there's always a lot of misconceptions. Everybody thinks I'm this mean, crazy guy that just throws people out of windows for a living. And like I'm just this mean, nasty guy. And again, when you're around me, again, this social media is the gift and the curse. If you're from Wichita, Kansas, you're not going to get my personality. If you're from Idaho, you're not going to get my personality. I'm from the Bronx. I survived the 70s, 80s, 90s. I survived the heroin era, crack era, drug era, so on and so forth. I made something of myself. I'm a happy guy. I'm proud of myself. That's not being cocky. That's just being happy and proud. That's a Bronx thing. I'm not the only person you're going to meet from the Bronx that's the same way. I just happen to have a platform to show it than a few other people have. I would love to know why people don't like me. What did I do? I don't post shoes super early. I'm okay with being last. I don't have to be first. I like having fun. I use social media as a platform. When I take the jokes, I answer back on Snapchat, everything. Anybody who knows me, I respond back to almost everybody. It's like being the people's champ. I stop and take every picture. I talk to every kid. People hit me up in the street. Yo, my son is a big fan. You think you could, let's FaceTime him right now. Like, those are the things that you guys don't see. I'm going to meet a girl's driving in from Philadelphia with her son on Saturday to meet me because she sent me this long ass DM. You know what I mean? I don't need to capture that moment. I'm going to go do it. I'm going to meet them on Saturday afternoon in Fort Lee, New Jersey, just to say hi to a kid. My friend Matt from corporate the other day, mother wanted to buy him a pair of Jordans and he wasn't doing good in school, blah, blah, blah. I got on the phone with him because I'm like his biggest fan. Yo, if you do good in school, here go the Jordans. I'm going to send them to you. You're my size. They're right here. I'm holding them in my hand. You know how easy I could have publicized that? For what? I guess I'm doing it here now, but the question was asked. You know what I mean? So I'm not the person you guys think I am. Now, don't get me wrong. If you step in my circle, you're going to see why they call me Mayor.
I do think, Mayor, though, that the posts in all caps, the bragging, the flexing, the flossing. I do think, though, that, and maybe you don't see it. I'm just telling you from my perspective. I do think that paints a picture of you that's, I don't want to say not flattering, but it's not you.
Okay, so is it okay for a celebrity to do that because they have it?
To me, I think a lot of it is, maybe the word is corny. I don't know. Like, I think a lot of it is like,
but you guys,
it's not for me.
If Dame is posted up with his red bandana and his jewelry on next to his red Lamborghini posted up and he gets 75,000 likes, it's a dope picture. If I do that, I'm showing off.
But who cares how many likes? Like,
no. What I'm saying, I'm just giving you a scenario. If the pictures, when I say the likes, that means it's being received well, and the comments are being received well. If I do it, I'm fronting. I'm not fronting. I bust my ass to get that. I don't have a Lamborghini, by the way. I bust my ass to get that. When I'm posted up next to my M6 with my chain on, posted up, I earn that. I bust my ass to buy that car. And I bust my ass to pay for my house, and I bust my ass to send my son to college, and I bust my ass to send my daughter to business school, and I bust my ass to send my grandson, yeah, I'm a grandfather, my grandson to daycare for $900 a month, and I pay my mother's rent. But where is it wrong? I'm proud of what I do. What's the problem? I want to know what the problem is. It's braggadocious because I'm doing it? Because I got a lot of sneakers and I'm doing what other people do, or I'm living life better than somebody else? I bust my ass for mine, man. 20 years, man. All you kids listening, I grew up with your parents. Some of your parents are strung out on drugs. Some of your parents gamble the rent money away. Some of your parents are fucking your mother's sister. That's okay. But you don't see that, but you see me because I'm a social, and I only have 80,000 followers. Imagine if I had millions of followers. Good Lord. I pay my taxes. I pay more in taxes than most make in a year.
I know that life, man. God.
You know what I'm saying? What
The
did I do?
brutal.
I want to know. Please respond back. What did I do to y'all to not like me? Tell me what I did. Please, I'll pay. Let me know. What did I do?
Is it that people don't like you though, or they?
You don't like me. I don't give a shit. That's a personal thing. But give me a reason why you don't like me. You don't have to like me. I'm not looking.
Well, I like you.
No, not you. I'm talking to everybody, obviously. I'm not looking for love on the net. But if you don't like me, tell me why. I'm a grown man. If you don't like me,
you don't think. Okay, so you say you're not looking. So you say you're not looking for love on the net, but you don't think that some of it is attention seeking?
No, it's building my brand. And you told me that was a fair point earlier.
It is fair. Listen,
it's not going to change.
I'm not saying it's not. Everybody's got their own their own marketing strategy.
Check this out. This cocky attitude, this showing sneakers off on the internet, like you guys say I'm doing, or posting this amazing collection, gets me thousands of dollars a year from Nike. It gets me thousands of dollars a year from Crepotech. It gets me thousands of dollars a year from Kicks USA. It gets me thousands of dollars from Complex. It gets me thousands of dollars from people, from other marketing agencies. Hey, can you post this? We'll pay. I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to continue to build my brand.
No, do that.
Let me tell you how crazy it got. If you look on my Instagram, _mayor_, you're going to see a video of me walking on my hands the other day in a Puma photo shoot, right? 2 pictures before that, you're going to see me posted with every chain I own like I'm Mr. T. I didn't do that. They asked for that. If I'm getting paid thousands of dollars for a photo shoot, a lot of thousands of dollars for a photo shoot, I'm going to do what they ask. And I said I'll never wear my mags. The guy from Forbes said, hey, can you wear your mags? Sure. No
and ride around in a hoverboard, watering the lawn.
That was the cameraman's idea. Okay, sure. So now I look like I'm the cocky asshole. I want to show everybody that I'm watering my lawn. My very little lawn. My lawn is probably the size of my desk. But they told me to do it. Okay, hey, would you wear those mags? I said I would never wear them, but I'm not. Who am I to tell Forbes no? You guys granted me an interview. You guys let me build my brand. Why wouldn't I wear the mags? Sure, why not? Hey, Mayor, would you mind wearing all these chains for the video? I think it'll be a cool shoot. Absolutely. I'm building my brand, man. Shit, it got me on a sit down.
Listen, you don't have to do much to get on the sit down.
Get on the sit down.
Anybody can come on a sit down. It's
oh well, then I feel terrible now.
No.
Then I feel like I don't count. I didn't do my job.
Hey, listen, I'm happy you came on the sit down. I thought you did a good job.
I'm sure you got a million more questions, bro. If you got them, let them go. If we out, we out. Let me know.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think you answered a lot of the questions that I had. I really don't have a ton more. I mean, I thought the questions that I had were fair ones.
I answered them to the best of my capabilities. If I didn't answer one the way you like, you can revisit it, and maybe I'll change my mind, or maybe I won't, or maybe I'll actually.
It's not about answering it the way I like. I mean, I can't dictate your answers. Your answers are your answers. I can answer the question.
Right,
all I want to do is
you have a show, and you have an audience you're appealing to, and I'm sure you want to appeal to. I
think the thing that I want this show to be is I want it to be the place where I'm gonna say the shit other people are afraid to say.
Okay.
Because the reality is and one of my biggest pet peeves with the whole social shit is that there's so much ass kissing and like bullshit, you know, like everybody's afraid to say something. And I'm not
on my page. Not on my page.
You know, I'm just not going to be afraid to say something. And listen, people don't come on the show because they don't want to answer some of the questions that I'm going to ask.
That's gay. So now I'm going to ask you who didn't want to come on the show and answer questions. Let's have some fun with that.
Oh, I mean, there have been a lot of people that a lot of people.
Name one.
Fucking this kid Auntie turned me down 100 times today.
I don't know.
Last week, he's some YouTube kid. He wouldn't come on. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, he's small time, but there have been bigger people that we've had conversations with that wouldn't come on the show. I'm not gonna, out of respect to people who asked me not to say certain things.
I don't want to hear that bullshit. Who didn't want to come on the show?
A lot of people didn't want to come on the show.
Name
People
one.
still don't want to come on the show.
Name one. Why they don't want to come on the show? What's the big deal about coming on the show?
They don't want it because they don't want to answer the questions. They don't want to say.
They don't want to get exposed for buying shoes 3 years ago, buying collections, this, that, and the third. They're afraid to answer those questions.
They're afraid to. They just don't want to come on. They feel it's bad for their brand. They don't want to answer the questions. They feel like you know the shit I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask who's doing corny shit. I'm gonna ask you to call somebody out. You do it. You don't do it. I mean, I'm going to ask the questions that I see every day on the social platforms, people asking, but
being a person that came on sit down and answered every question that was asked the best with my capabilities. I want to know who was the faggots that didn't want to come on the show.
There's a mad of them. There's too many to list. I mean, listen.
We all know who top dogs are. Come on, Don. You good at answering them.
I'm not, listen, because look, because out of respect.
Now become the mayor show. Fuck respect. You ask me questions. You ask them anyway, right?
There's a lot, Mayor. There's a lot of people that don't.
I can sit here and tell you I've done this, that, and the third. You can't tell me who came on your goddamn show.
A lot of people ain't trying to come on the show, man. Ronnie Feig ain't coming on my show.
Ronnie's weird.
He ain't coming on.
Yeah, Ronnie's a Martian.
Let me see who else. There's been a lot of people that.
Yeah, keep telling me a lot and you're not answering my questions, man. Come on.
There are some that I still hope to maybe get one. Shit. What I tell you, let me tell you who I wish I could get. I would love to get Khaled in that chair right there. I would love that. I would love to ask him some of the questions that Joe LaPuma didn't ask when he had him in his sneaker shopping. I would love to ask him.
Joe's not going to ask them questions. Joe got to be politically correct. You know
but
that.
That's why I'm here.
Joe got a big job.
He does, but that's why I'm here. I want to ask those questions.
You got to build this brand right here to be worthy for people like that to come on. So with building your brand out of all due respect and asking, and you making the show as controversial as you want and as big as you want to make it, Mayor's asking you again for the 17,000th time who didn't want to come on the show. That's big. Pause. I'm waiting, and so is everybody. Hit it. Flood his chat line. Flood his flood his Twitter. Flood everything, and ask him to man up. No disrespect, and say who didn't want to be on the show.
There's Russ Banks didn't turn me down.
Okay, why did Russ turn you down? Did he give you a reason, or he just said no?
No, he said no.
Okay, I mean Russ is not a big deal. Russ did it.
I'm just saying, like those.
I love Russ. He's not a big deal in the sneaker community.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just giving you a couple. There have been people.
See, I can understand Russ not being on because Russ is not a big sneaker figure. I'm sure they had to twist his arm to do that fucking quick strike shit with Clark in the beginning. I don't know he wanted him loving it afterwards. I bet you they had to twist his arm to do it in the beginning. I would almost bet it, but I know he wanted him loving doing it afterwards. But Russ isn't big into that shit. Russ is a very opinionated guy, and he puts his opinion on paper, and that's Russ. So I give him a pass too. Ronnie's a weirdo, and Russ I understand. Who else?
You're
stuttering right now, and I don't. Come on now. Come on.
I'm gonna plead the fifth the rest of the way because there are some of these guys. There are some of these guys that I would like to get on, and I don't want to call them out for.
Call them out.
You know who I would love to get on the show? Yeah. I would love to get Danny Nunez's ass on the show.
Oh, but he's political now. He works for Jordan.
I know he won't come on.
Yeah,
he won't come on.
What are you going to ask Danny Nunez?
What's that?
What are you going to ask Danny Nunez?
You know who won't come on? Mark Dolce won't come on.
Dude, you're asking people with big. You can't get those people. The guys in the Adidas and Nike win their fucking lawsuit over the guy.
I'm saying.
Now you're reaching. Now I'm talking about sneaker personalities. I'm not talking about guys that work for brands. You can't get those guys on here. They got to have permission. They got to have permission to have their picture taken.
You know coming on my show, but you asked. That's what I'm telling you.
No. You giving me bullshit answers right now.
I'm not giving you
bullshit
bullshit
answers.
answers.
You're not gonna get. The guy had a fucking Adidas was about to sue Nike for $10 million over Dolce. You're gonna sit here and tell me he's gonna come on the show and talk? He's got
I
it.
asked him
His
before.
bag is bigger than the fucking president's. Come on, I want personalities. That's what I want to know. Who have you reached out to that has social media followers and personalities that would not come on the show? You're ducking the question. Answer the question.
Perfect Pair won't come on.
Have you reached out to him?
Yes.
Why wouldn't he come on?
Because he knows the questions that I'm going to ask him.
And what did you talk to him about?
He just said no. He said no, he won't come on. He said he wouldn't come on.
Okay. You know why he won't come on?
Why don't you tell me why he won't come on?
Because everybody's going to ask him where did he come up with this. The guy used to wear Vans 5 years ago. Now he got this amazing fucking collection. He bought his collection. That's what you wanted me to say in the original beginning.
That's not what I wanted you to say. I'm just saying it came up now. I didn't.
But he bought his collection. He's a rich kid. He was born into money. He owns casinos. He wants to buy his collection. He bought it. And just like Corgi said and everybody else said, in their minds, he doesn't count. In other people's minds, he's the god. And that's okay. A kid might idolize him. That's fine. I'm not a fan of him. You wanted me to hear me say that? I'm not a fan of him because I spoke to him personally and he said something stupid.
What did he say?
That's personal conversation. That I don't get into. I can tell you that I spoke to him and it wasn't, but he's cool. He got a nice collection. What he's doing is nice. We're brand ambassadors together, so I can't bash the guy. We're both brand ambassadors for Correct. But I know Clark 25 years. Me and Clark fight like brothers. It's a different relationship, obviously.
Right.
Of course, guys are going to ask him that question. All of a sudden, you came out of the woodwork? And let's not get it fucked up. His claim to fame was Nice Kicks. He had 15,000 followers before he was the first one on Sneak Peek. You know what I'm saying? He bought his collection. He can afford it. He bought it. Does that make him?
I mean, I don't know.
Does that make him not like sneakers? Does that
no. Nobody's saying that.
He loves it. But I'm just talking. I'm speaking on the guy's behalf, and I really don't give a shit if he comes on or not. But I wanted you to say it because I want you to hear the shit. So now, if you're gonna mention it, I'll address it. See how easy that was? But you can't ask me questions. You know what I'm saying? But listen, the guy likes shoes, just like everybody else. He bought his collection. I'm sure everybody I get it all the time. Yo, I wish I could afford your collection. Yo, dude, this is 30 fucking years, B. This is having money, not having money. This is saving money. This is stealing money from my grandfather. I stole money from my grandfather to buy some of these shoes, man. Like, not this shoe per se, but this era when the Nike Air was like this, I was stealing money from my grandfather to buy shit like this. You know what I'm saying? So that's different. But everybody wishes they could afford it. If somebody had a real crazy dope job, and if a guy makes $40,000 a year and he buys a pair of sneakers every month, and he winds up landing a Wall Street job or a broker job where he makes $250,000 a year, he's going to go buy some shoes. He's going to go buy some shoes.
Yeah.
This guy just happens to be different. He has family money. He owns casinos. He bought a whole bunch of fucking shoes. He bought a collection. There's no way in Christ that I would have bought that retro four. I mean, that undefeated four for $25,000. You got to be out of your fucking mind. I bought it for $2,500. So I treat it like a $2,500 shoe. That's why I bend it. That's why I wear it in a fucking torrential downpour. All-Star weekend in Vegas. It rained every fucking day. I had the shoe on in the fucking mud. I had Carmelo Anthony and Bun B looking at me like I was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I treat it like that shoe. I'm not spending $21,000 for a fucking used M&M 4 and then take it to Jason Mark to clean it and then wear the shit out of it. I'm not doing that. I shoot myself in the foot because I had a chance to buy an M&M for $6,000 from my man Rabbit 100 years ago in Rome, and I said no. They asked me for $6,500. I think I told them I had $5,700 in my pocket. They told me no, and they wound up selling the shoe for $6,200. It's probably the dumbest shit I ever did in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have bought the shit out of that shoe for $6,000. For $6,000, I'd have wore that shit in the mud for what it's worth now. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay if that's what he wants to do. He wants to buy that collection. Go ahead with that, man. So be it. He could afford it. Some people are going to respect him. Some people are going to say he's whack. What do you think? Don't shake. You got to answer the question. No, don't do that.
I mean, I don't. I think the thing that
I'm gonna come on this motherfucking show every week now at the end of the show and drive you crazy.
I think the thing that makes me kind of like first of all, there's no dispute in his passion or his collection.
Right.
His collection is dope and he clearly enjoys it. And I'm not. I don't want to take anything away from that. But I do think that there's like a gray area there, kind of what I said earlier, where a little disingenuousness, where, you know, look, I don't know the guy, but maybe he did buy his collection. It appears that he bought his
collection. That's nothing to hide. He bought it. But
he kind of paints a picture that he was there 20, 30 years ago and he was about that life.
I don't believe that. I think the story he told, from what I remember, because I didn't watch everything, and I don't like talking about people that are not here, his brother was into shoes, and that's why he got into shoes. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I think that was the nice kick story, because I think that's what attracted me to the story, because I remember saluting him. I remember seeing a story, going on his Instagram page and saluting him, because he was talking about, again, I don't want to shoot nobody. His brother passed away. His brother loved shoes, and that's why he got into the game. That's the story that I remember. I could be wrong, and I remember saluting him for that. So that's cool. That's fine. And
sure is.
If you bought your collection because of that, so what?
Right. I agree with you.
I'll bet everything I own he ain't been in the game for 30 years. None of y'all motherfuckers been in the game for 30 years. How old are you?
37. I haven't been in it for 30 years.
Exactly.
But I never claimed that.
I'm not saying you claimed it. But I could throw that number out there because I've been in the game for 30 years. Me and him are the same age. He hasn't been in the game for 30 years. Clark has been in the game for 30 years. Bobito's been in the game for 700 years. You know what I'm saying? Big Boy, Outkast, Joe, even Big Boy with his fake fucking sneakers. Big Boy will embarrass the shit out of a lot of motherfuckers with his sneakers. Even with his fake ass shoes, he'll embarrass a lot of motherfuckers with a few pair of shoes. Because he was the man. And when Nike was seeding heavy and throwing them fucking gold case shoes around and them crocodile shits and all that exclusive shit that motherfuckers paid tons of money for, and them Wide and Kennedys and them Kobe denims, they was getting them shits like it was fucking crap. You know what I'm saying? So they have shit and they really like shit. So what, he got caught with a pair of fake sneakers. So these guys have been around that long. You know what I'm saying? So this dude ain't been around that long. So what? And I'm not a fan of the dude. But I'm not going to sit here and say that it's whack because he bought his collection. He could afford it. I didn't buy my collection. Maybe I bought a $2,500 shoe people couldn't afford. You asked me earlier that I couldn't finish answering the question, the most expensive shit that I paid for shoes. Nike made me a 1-of-1 Yankee Air Force One when they won a championship. I made a donation to wildlife preservation. The donation was my choice. I donated $3,000. Maybe that was a little bit. Maybe it wasn't enough. At that time, it hurt my pocket to do that. That wasn't a good year. That was a transition stage for me. But I made the donation because I was told I had to make a donation. I could have made a $500 donation. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people do things, some people don't do things. I made a donation the other day. I did a show the other day. It's coming out on the internet pretty soon. Not a show, but I did a sneak peek. It's coming out. Right? George Keel has a colon cancer foundation. I lost a lot of family members to cancer. I made a small donation to his charity. That's how we started off the show. Yeah, here's a check for your charity. I didn't do it for ratings. People want to come see my sneakers any fucking way. Nobody's going to give a fuck that I made a donation. It all goes back to whatever the person perceives. Somebody's going to say, oh, Mayor is trying to show off and make a donation. No, it's genuine. Perfect pair, genuinely loves shoes. I'm sure he does. Did he buy his collection? Yes, it's not hidden. Now, did you ask him the questions? Did you give him the questions you were going to ask him? Now, just so you guys know, he didn't give me the questions he was giving me.
No, I don't give anyone the questions.
We didn't even get a premise to show. When I spoke to Don a few weeks ago, he called me like what'd you call me the other day with Pete? I forgot what it was.
I forget too.
Some bragging shit you called me. Like I'm an asshole on the internet or something like that. I perceive myself as an asshole on the internet. That was the topic.
Pete called you.
Let me finish. That was the topic of conversation, and I found it funny. I said, yo, call Drew. I want to come on the show right now. We barely spoke about that.
Right.
That wasn't going to be the premise of the show. It was a funny conversation. You know what, Drew? Now I'm going to do the show. Fuck it. I found it to be funny. Let's do the show. It was my idea to do the show.
Yes, you called me.
Right. It was fun. It's cool. It's okay. I like interacting. I'm Jadakiss. I'm top 5 dead or alive. I'm reachable. I'm accessible. It's fun. I enjoy it. It doesn't make me better than him because I had my collection 30 years and he bought his. It doesn't make his better because he paid astronomical amount of money for fucking shoes that nobody in the world could afford. It wouldn't surprise me if he pulls up with a Carhartt Jordan. He could afford it. I made a bid. I got outbid right away. My bid lasted a while, but it went. You know what I'm saying? I bid $15,000. I bid $15,000. I got a new credit card with $25,000 limit on it. I said, fuck it. Let me go give me some M&Ms. And guess what? I had Greg Street reach out to Rosenberg and ask him, can I get a pair? I'll make a decent donation. And they're sticking to their guns that there's only 10 pair. But I know for a fact there's more than 10 pair.
I heard that as well.
Yeah, of course they are. I know Rosenberg is sitting on them right now. But it's cool. They're going to do what they're going to do with them. I'm sure they're going to give them but they're raising money for the Marshall Mathers Foundation. That's dope.
Right. Well, it makes sense for them to paint the picture that there's less pairs because that drives the value up, which gets more money for the charity.
Right, but the team is supposed to have him. Bronson's supposed to have him. Royce the 5'9" is his best friend. He's supposed to have him. Joe Budden's supposed to have him. Rosenberg is supposed to have him. Emmett's supposed to have a limited run so he can wear wherever the fuck he goes. They're supposed to be there. But everybody's painted on, oh, there's 10 pair. No, there's 10 pair for sale for the Marshall Mathers Foundation, which is dope. They raised $200,000. Roughly $20,000 a pair. It's dope. It sucks for the motherfucker that wants to buy it. Now, if you buy it and you're wearing it, God bless you. If Ethiopia's London bought it and he's putting it on his feet like he did them $30,000 mags, God bless him. I ain't doing that. I mean, I would have put them on my. If I would have won for $15,000, I'd have put them on. Of course, I'd have put them on. I ain't selling them, but that would have been the most I would pay for a pair of shoes. But I knew I wasn't going to win the auction. I just had to put my bid in.
On that note, Mayor, I think we're gonna call it. We ran a little long. You went on a pretty entertaining rant, so I had to let you go.
I went on the rant that you wanted, and you still are hiding from questions because you only gave me one.
I'm not hiding from anything. I'm right here.
Yes, you are.
I'm not hiding.
So let's keep going. Who else didn't want to come on?
We got to sign off.
Yeah, he's gonna
Mayor,
run.
listen. Thank you very much for spending an hour and 20 with us.
Thank you, Doug.
I appreciate it. We'll do it again.
You have an amazing platform and keep doing it. Like,
thank you.
Really have a good platform here. Keep working it.
We'll do it again. If I don't talk to you, have a great Christmas.
Enjoy your holiday.
And we out. Peace.
All right, so guys.